Basically, it's a tournament where all the best players in the world from different countries and everything come in the same room and play the game that we all love.
I am Jace Belair.
And I am Stoneforge Mystic.
It's just a really amazing game.
It's just mind-boggling to even think about.
I guess the rest is history.
PTQ is a Pro Tour Qualifier.
Everybody here is playing for one chance to go play at Pro Tour Honolulu.
This is a limited PTQ. You get a sealed deck. Draft is top 8. It's usually 7 or 8 rounds.
The winner of this tournament gets a paid flight from Wizards of the Coast to play in this Pro Tour, and you specifically qualified for it. Usually about 300 to 400 players qualify, and you play to win $40K.
I mean, these are people who, would like to go play against other pros, I would think. And the turnout's going to be better because of the opportunity that it's provided by the outcome of a win at a PTQ versus winning additional product or whatever. So the outcome seems a little bit better.
I used to play mainly just because of my competitive edge, but now it's just, I come to tournaments because it's something to do on the weekend. It's easy and fun and get to hang out with friends.
Try to win plane tickets and get on the Pro Tour.
The camaraderie, I mean, they only give away one slot. There's close to 100 people here. So, I mean, it's, a chance to get away, go hang out with your friends, have fun, play some cards,
Limited Magic is kind of the same always, is that, good cards are good. And, you make sure you play a 40-card deck. This particular set to me seems very underpowered, so cards you might not think have value do have value that you're not aware of. Combat tricks are at a premium. I found the one time I played it, there's not a lot of them, so people walk right into them and you just drop the nuts on them.
Creatures, you need lots of creatures. I think the spells in this format are more tempo-based than normal. There's not a lot of removal per se. There's a lot of bounce and tap down creatures and things like that, but there's not really a lot of removal like there are in other sets. So I mean, if you can go, guy, you're in pretty good shape most of the time.
Drawing first seems good with a lot of decks. I think blue and white are both really good in this format. The flyers in both colors are really good. But like I said, it's kind of a slow format. The draft is actually pretty fast, but the sealed seems very slow.
I think the best color, hands down, is white. I think it's proven by the GP as well. All of the undefeated decks in the format were white. The second best color, I think, is probably red. The access to Geist Flame is just insane, but beyond that, play your bombs. Every Innistrad tournament, you're probably gonna have to beat 2 to 3 bomb flip cards just over the course of the day, because everyone's got a good flip card in their deck pretty much. It's like Mayor of Avabrook, Daybreak Ranger, Bloodline Keeper. All of these cards you're gonna have to play at least during the day.
Draft, I've definitely realized that you definitely want to draft creatures a lot higher than you usually did, because picks 7 through 15 are usually not very quality picks. So you really want to get in there. You want to have 14 or 15 creatures in your deck, or it's going to be a tough draft for you.
I do think flashback spells are a little worse in the draft format because it's so aggressive and tempo related. So I think it's play white or have access to the best flip cards in the format, like Ghast of Shepherd and the 4/6, the 2/3 that turns into a 4/6 is really good. The 1/5 that turns into a 5/5 is really good. So just playing bigger creatures on the lower end of the curve, because the format's about curve in the draft.
I think it's the best limited format in a while. M11 and M12 are both kind of meh. Scars was fun at first, but the whole block drafting together wasn't very much fun. Rides was a lot of fun. Zendikar was really aggressive, and I didn't really like that. So I think Innistrad is the best format in a really long time.
Everybody likes vampires and werewolves and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I give it about a 7.
It's basically you interact on every turn with your opponent, so the skill level and deck building process is very important. It's not like most limited formats where you're just whoever gets their bomb first wins. This one is still bombs matter, but it's you need to be casting something turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. You need to cast 3 spells within those 4 turns. Because if your opponent just casts 4 spells, you're just done. They're playing 3 power attackers on turn 1, or Doom Traveler, and then it's just they're probably getting in with their first 2 plays 8 damage. So if they go 1-drop, 2-drop, it's pretty hard to come back if your first play is on turn 3 and then they go kill your 3-drop. because there's enough removal to do that.
I mean, if you have an aggressive deck and you can trade like turd creatures for good creatures, or they just have to take the beating, a 2/2's dealing 4 to their head. I mean, those seem like really good cards. Then obviously all the gold creatures are, you know, blowouts. But I mean, like the Inquisitor Veil, I think is probably going to be underplayed and undervalued. That lifelink spell, that instant, because the spells in this set I don't think are very good overall if you valued them all together. So those are the spells I played with. So that's really all I can speak of.
If I had to pick one card to open in the format, what would it be? I haven't thought about this too much. Mayor of Avabreck probably is actually the card I'd most want to open, because just mulliganing the Mayor of Avabreck on turn 2 on the play is just hard to lose.
I like to hang out with my friends a lot that I've met traveling for Magic. So like coming to these things, like I get to see people from like Lexington and Nashville that I don't get to see every weekend and like play Magic with every weekend. So it's kind of nice to see those people.
Connections. I mean, this game is a lot about connections, you know, knowing the right deck to play, knowing the people to talk to, you know, obviously getting rides and stuff. Just don't be afraid to get your feet wet, man. Your first couple are pretty tough, but then after that it's pretty smooth sailing.
Grasp of Darkness is 2 black mana for an instant to give target creature -4/-4 until end of turn.